Hey everyone, Psychoyasin here, and in this video I want to talk about what I wish I knew about creating a portfolio. So this is the portfolio I had when, I don't know, it was in 2011 I think? Something like that, around that time. And you can see there's a lot of different stuff here, and it was really all over the place. And this is something, I don't see as much all over the placeness when people show me their stuff, but it does have this sense of, often with students, they'll show you their portfolio, and it's like, so let me just talk about myself. It's easier that way. So let's say I was showing this. This to me, I would call that character design at the time. And it's not. Like, it's a design of a character in a way, sure. But, like, this is not what I think of now as character design. And I thought of this as character design. And then, oh, here's a caricature to show I can render. And here's some other stuff. Like, oh, here's a study to show, I don't know. I didn't know what I was doing really. Here's a thing I made as part of this Crimson Daggers group. It was like reimagining Miyazaki things. Here's, random stuff, figure drawings, because I heard, well, include figure drawings in your portfolio. So it's like, all right, here's some figure drawings. Some speed painting stuff from YouTube, some more caricatures. Again, character design stuff, which isn't really character design. And what I mean by it's not really character design is not that it's not like a design of a character, because sure, it's more that if you were working in a project and you wanted to hire someone, this is more like illustration. Like, it shows, okay, you can render stuff, but does it show you can design characters? Not really. So, what do I think about as character design? Well, recently I did this for Space Waitress K, and it's what I would consider more character design, because it's a character sheet, and I'm showing off the character. Now, it's not rendered, it's not fancy, it's not for public consumption. This is just so I know, hey, this is what the character looks like from the front, from the side, from the back. They have a jacket. This is what it looks like. These are all the colors of the things, so it's very easy to know what the colors are. Here's a top view. It's very practical, and this is what's actually useful to people, is to know, like, what can you give me that I can use? Like, what skills do you have, as opposed to this type of thing where it's, okay, this time I put some, like, lighting on it and tried to shade it and make it all fancy, but that's not showing I can take a character and I can show it from different angles. I can break it down. I can make it usable. And it wasn't until I started really working on Space Waitress K that I started to realize what things meant, like character design and character sheets and stuff. Because before it was, I don't know why I thought this way, but I kind of thought of these things as things you put in a portfolio to get hired, right? Like, I should show, like, I like to do characters, so I want to get hired doing characters, and I like designing, I guess. So I guess I'll do character designs of what? I don't know. So, but when you have a project, it has nothing to do with that. It's just like, well, I have a character that's already in the world that needs to be showcased, so I know it's not for anyone outside to look at and be like, oh, what a nice picture. It's so that I know, oh, this is what the character looks like from this view. With this one, it's, again, same thing. Oh, this is what the jacket looks from behind. This isn't an open mouth to show, like, oh, how, oh, look at the expression or something. No, it's just to show, okay, there's a tongue. What color is the tongue? It's very practical and pragmatic. And that's why I really recommend people starting a project when they want to do something, as opposed to just this, because this type of portfolio, it does show off some of the skills, but it's hard to know what to do with this. Like, here's a traditional pencil drawing of a bowl. Okay, for what? Like, if you look in the mind, think about the mindset of an employer. What do they do with this? I had mentioned that I got a portfolio review from Daniel Dochu, and he had seen this portfolio. It was, obviously in a different format, but basically a lot of the images were here, and he wasn't sure what to do with me. And that's nothing against him. He thought, like, well, you're in the wrong field. It's because he was saying, like, well, this stuff, you need to have good ideas. And I was like, well, how do you get good ideas? Like, you don't. You just have it or you don't. I got kind of discouraged. But at the same time, what was I showing him? I was just showing him a bunch of random stuff that, I wanted a career in art. I didn't know how to get one. I didn't know what it meant. And I also felt like I'm not good enough to, and this is something I hear all the time from students, I'm not good enough to do the thing I want to do. So, like, I'm not good enough to make a comic. Therefore, I'm going to do studies. Or I'm not good enough to make an animation. So here I'm going to do a bunch of perspective. And my advice is always like don't think about it that way. The way you get better at whatever you choose to do is by doing that thing. By making a comic, I got better at making or I'm getting better. I have a long way to go. I'm getting better at making comics. I'm learning about what's necessary for design because I need it for myself. It's just like, oh yeah, what does the back view look like? Right. And then all these things have taken years to learn and, figure out stuff like that. It's been unpleasant, but what I would say when it comes to portfolios is figure out what you want to do and do that. And like the portfolio isn't, I don't think people should be making portfolios, really. I think they should be making whatever they want to make, and then in the end, you end up with a portfolio. Like, the portfolio is the result of stuff you've already done, and that should show what your skills are. So what do you like to do? That should show things. Like in animation, yeah, they do ask for figure drawing in portfolio because they want to know you can draw the human figure. But if you showed an animation, if that was your portfolio, it's like, here's my animation. Took me a while to do maybe, but then you're like more like a demo reel. Then you're showing exactly what you can do. And if you do these things as exercises, I think you end up with sloppy work or work that just isn't as good. It's not nearly as strong as if you just made the thing. Like, try your best. And if it's outside of your, ability, you can't, like, you're just not good. I don't know how to do it. Find people, like, look up things from people who do know how to do that thing and then kind of copy that or learn from that. But I found, you don't even need to do that if you're just making stuff. Like, if you were making an animation, you would need a character sheet just so you know what your character looks like to keep them on model. So, okay, so you'd have that. You would need color charts and things to know, well, what color is this? What color is that? If you want to make it easy for yourself, it would be helpful to have it color, like things off to the side. Like with this one, there's no shading because it's not necessary. But if there was shading, I still have the colors off to the side, so I know, okay, what color is the sclera exactly? Okay, it's this color. What color is, this thing? Okay, it's that color. It just makes it way easier. So that's my advice for creating a portfolio. It's figure out what you want to do that, try your best, and in the doing of that thing, if you really put your effort into it, and I don't mean like some kind of, I'm going to have a portfolio done in a month. Because as I said, this took me like not this one image, but like getting this stuff took me years. And I would say just on Kay, her design, I've been working on it for like 3 or 4 or more years. But then refining it to this stage took a few months. So it's something I really want to convey, but I don't know exactly how. The thing of don't spend your time doing studies necessarily, because when you do studies, first of all, there's this idea of like these things were studies, I guess. Like this was a study of a chicken. Why? Or a rooster. Why? What is this for? Like, this is fine. If I was wanting to draw a rooster caricatured and that was like what I was going for, then I would just draw a bunch of roosters caricatured, painted like this, and that would be fine. But what job is there for that? And is that my passion? Is that what I want to do? No. So there's caricature here. Did I want to be a caricature artist? No. There's a fine art still life image. Do I want to be doing fine art still life images? No. There's random stuff. Do I want to do random, who knows what this is or for what or why? No. So, figuring it out, what you want to do, and then doing it, even though you don't know how, and just trusting that you'll figure it out as you go, I think it's the best way to do it. And I think a project really helps with that. Like, just make a project, even if it's just, I don't know, if you don't have ideas, maybe find a story you like, maybe a classic novel, because you can just interpret those without any copyright issues, and then like illustrate it. Or if that's what you want to do, if you want to design book covers, make up ideas for book covers and design book covers. Don't think, okay, I have to do some studies of this or studies of that, because the things you need to study reveal themselves in what you're doing anyway. So let's say you want to do a book cover. Okay, you start your book cover and you realize, I don't know perspective. Okay, so learn perspective. And you'll learn perspective for the sake of the book cover where you need it, as opposed to doing what I did. And I spent a long time learning perspective and then moving on to something else and then moving on to something else and never really using my perspective knowledge, and then forgetting it and then realizing, oh shoot, I need to learn perspective again, and kind of doing these things over and over. Same with anatomy. Like I would learn the names of the muscles and all this stuff, which I don't do. Like I don't really know the names of the muscles anymore because I forgot them, but I know much better how the body is put together. So there's a bunch of stuff you don't need to do or don't need to know. And there's other stuff you definitely do. And if you are using it on a day-to-day basis, it will aid you, and you will, that's what shows off your skill set. So yeah, do what you love. Take on a project, even if you think you're not ready, just do it anyway. You will learn way more trying and failing to do what you want to do than you will if you just spend your time doing studies and waiting until you're ready and just doing, stuff like this where you're like, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. This person said this, that person said this. I'm part of a study group and they're doing this right now, so I'm doing this. And I guess I can put that in my portfolio. It's like, why? No, that's not that useful. So yeah, I guess it's a bit of a old man rant. Sorry about that. But I really hope some of the wisdom comes across, because it really was something that would have helped me to know. So yeah, hope it helps, and thanks for watching.